Hello and welcome to That Arsenal Show on the Football Terrace with me, Adam Charles from the Fifth Official. Let's get all of that stuff out of the way. We're going to have a very honest, frank and sensible conversation this evening because there's been a bit too much hysteria. Let's take it as it is. We know that Arsenal paid £72 million for Nicola Pepe. We know that Nicola Pepe is Arsenal's most expensive signing. We know that there was a lot of expectation, there was a lot of hype surrounding him when he came in, and he hasn't lived up to expectation. And tonight we're going to ask the question, is Nicola Pepe's career at Arsenal done? Do Arsenal need to cut their losses? And we're also going to be addressing whether you are Arteta in or whether you are Arteta out, because there's a lot of people, more people than I even realized, that are Arteta out. And it's almost as if they've forgotten that he won the FA Cup and that everyone was happy. Most people were happy in the summer. But we've got a good show lined up for you. We've got the usual panel. We've got Sam. How you doing, my friend?
Bro, I'm doing good, bro. You know what? It's been a tough week, but we'll stand behind the manager all the way.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if you're saying that come the end of the stream. We've also got Igal. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. Samuel looks like the boy next door with the glasses.
Hello. We've got Brandon as well, making his first start.
Debut. I'm good. I'm still not quite over that result yesterday, and I differ to Samuel and Agal. I'm Arteta out, but there you go.
Let's make it a tasty one. We also got Kesh. How are you, sir?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
I'm all right. I've calmed down a little bit. I was asked some offensive questions, as I said yesterday. KJ was asking me whether I want to be scoring goals or whether I want to be conceding. Obviously, I want both, KJ. Duh. But as I say, for me, it's just the fact that we've been conceding goals for ages, and I'm finding it crazy that we were criticized for conceding goals so many times, and now we're not conceding goals. Yeah, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If it's Arsenal. Also, guys, make sure you smash that like button. We're going to be getting into things. Also, I can see people asking for the Igal song. I tell you what. If all of you hit the like button now, I'll play the Igal song. So make sure you do that, and you'll get it. I've also heard that Terry wants to jump on. Don't know what's going to happen there. Maybe. Depends on how I feel, because I'm in charge now, bro. I'm the captain. But yeah, Terry will be jumping in at some point as well. But let's jump straight in, guys. I'm going to go to Brandon first. Tell me what you think or what you make of the Nicola Pepe situation.
I don't know, really. I personally think his career at Arsenal's done. I genuinely mean that, because you can't do what you did yesterday. You know what I mean? And I know a lot of other players have done it before, but if we're being real, since he's been at Arsenal, he's worked with 3 managers, and none of them have really fancied him, to play him consistently. Arteta even doesn't really fancy him, and he come out in the media during the international break and made this big thing of, I don't want to be playing on the bench, I need to be playing more consistently, da-di-da-di-da. And then you go and do something like that, like what he did yesterday. He's not got a leg to stand on no more. If he comes out again and says, I'm sick of being on the bench and this, that and the other, Arteta can turn around and say, well, hang on, mate.
Let me just ask you, wasn't what he did that bad, Brandon? Why was it such a big deal? He got golded and he fell for it. It happens.
Yeah, it's not that what he did was that bad. It's the fact that he came out in the press and he said what he said beforehand. If he hadn't said any of that, then maybe this whole situation wouldn't be looked on as badly. But you can't say everything that you said and then go and turn around in a game that the manager's trusted and put his faith into you, and then go and do what he did.
I hear it. I hear it. We've got Terry in the house. Look at him. Just look at what he's doing.
Oh, really, Terry?
He's trying to be a
really?
terrorist. Why?
Why, Terry?
You come here to terrorize us.
On my Arsenal show, and this is what you want to do, Terry. I'll remove you. I told you I'm in control now, bro. Kesh, let me ask you a question now. If I give you the choice now of Zaha or Pepe, who are you choosing, please?
None of them.
Stop it. Tell the truth.
I'm choosing none of them. I'm telling you, I'm choosing none of them. There's better players out there than both of them. We just need to get back to the basics. Stop using this stat DNA shit, and go and actually use actual scouts to identify players. Because you can't just rely on stats. You've got to use the eye test. And I feel that's where we've been going wrong. When you look at numerous other signings like Mustafi, Xhaka, it all comes back to using the stat shit. It doesn't work. So I don't see how we can continue with that.
On that, can I just make, like, everybody's aspiring to be like Liverpool at the moment. Liverpool, the best team in the league. We all know that. They won the Premier League last season. They won the Champions League the season before. If you look at Jurgen Klopp and how he rebuilt that squad, the majority of the players most of the players that he signed came from Premier League clubs like Wijnaldum and Mane, and all these players came from Premier League clubs. So they didn't have to have the time to settle into the Premier League because they already knew the league. So maybe that's what clubs like Arsenal and Manchester United should start doing, because like with Nicolas Pepe, for example, it doesn't look like we're ever going to see the best of him, and you just don't know whether he's going to be any good in the league, and you sort of taking a bit of a punt on him, and it's cost you £72 million, and it's not worked out.
£72 million for a punt is a joke. Igal, come on, I'm waiting. Where's the positive spin, bro? Where is it?
Listen, great men, what they do is they bounce back. And at this point, he's at his lowest point. He's at his lowest point. He's at his lowest point. This is the lowest point of his Arsenal career. He just got sent off for making a silly mistake. He's let the team down. He's let the fans down. He's let the whole club down. And he's deeply sorry as a person. And you know what? At this point, when a person's down, everyone needs to help them pick themselves back up. At this point, if we give up on the man as a fan base, and we give up on him as a club, and the owners give up on him, and the players give up on him, and the coach gives up on him, we just destroy our asset. And at the end of the day, they look at him as an asset. As us, as fans, we look at him as our player. And you know what? This is a bad moment. Yesterday, I was emotional. I said some things that I might regret. But right now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He's a man down, and I'm not gonna kick a man when he's down. I'm gonna build him back up.
Wow, Sam, I see you nodding there. What? You agree or?
No, you have to agree with Igal, because really he's our player. At the end of the day, he's not a Chelsea fan. He's an employee of Arsenal Football Club, and I don't agree with criticizing him personally, because that's not a role. Some of the criticism is deserved. Really, his performance, his attitude stinks, because you pointed it out. He has had 3 managers and he hasn't performed, and he's a £72 million player. And do you remember when we signed him? Yeah, everyone hyped him up to be this next Robert Pires. It's Thierry Henry combo. We're going to get dragged to the top 4.
Whoa.
Well, we never said that.
No, I'm not saying you, but I heard some Arsenal fans comparing him to that. And so we need to take a chill pill, because listen, we got to back him.
Chelsea wanted Pepe over Pulisic. Chelsea fans wanted Pepe over Pulisic. Manchester United fans wanted Pepe that summer. A lot of people wanted Pepe. Pepe was a hot asset. When we got him, Josh Kroenke said, be excited. And you know what? For the time before he played, we're excited. Right now, he's been a little bit of a letdown. But when people say he's the worst signing in Premier League history,
that's the generation.
Igal, I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I love your positivity, I don't know if I've met one person who said that Chelsea wanted Pepe. Manchester United, yes, I agree. But Chelsea, I'm not too sure. But you know
Chelsea wanted Pepe.
Because I respect you and because I like you, I'm going to just believe what you say. I'm just going to do
that. From Chelsea fans, from their own mouth, they said when they got Pulisic, they would have rather had Pepe. They would have, before they seen either of them kick a ball in the Premier League.
No. I disagree with that.
Before
Do you know what,
Liverpool,
right? Liverpool wanted Pepe. Liverpool looked at Pepe 110%. They inquired. He basically said, I don't want to sit on your bench. He went to Arsenal. It was a good scalp. I know Man United fans were on socials talking about Pepe. In that same summer, it was who would you prefer, Pepe or Jadon Sancho was the question. And it was like, no, 110% would take Pepe. And that's all being said by people that I know for facts. Do you know how I know people don't watch? And the more that these people go on YouTube, the more content they make on YouTube, the more you realize they don't watch French football, they don't watch German football, they don't watch anything because they're always making content. When they're watching these games, bruv, when are they watching these games? Like, they want Pepe because they're like, who is he, first of all? Oh, I know who he is. He's that wicked player I got in a pack on FIFA. He's that guy with good ratings on Football Manager. He's well fast. Like, literally, like, they don't have any idea about these football players. They have none whatsoever. And they start chatting. And you never hear me do that, point blank, unless I've watched the player. The amount of times on here, people go, what about this kid? What about this guy? What about this dude from Sweden? I'm like, yeah, I ain't seen him play. I don't know anything about him. I can look at his statistics, that's it. But Pepe, the gas was there because people were pretending that they watch French football. They don't.
This is my issue, though. This is my issue. I hate that normal Arsenal fans because I think it is abnormal. It's weird for someone to play FIFA, for someone to play Football Manager and claim that they know everything about a player. It's weird. Only weirdos do that.
Yeah, no,
now,
very weird.
I don't like that normal fans, such as myself, and like everyone here, I would agree with, gets painted with the same brush as other weirdos that do that, because it really is only strange and peculiar individuals that will claim to know everything about a player from Sweden in a league that they've never bloody watched to say that they know that he's going to be a baller for Arsenal. It's so weird. So yes, other fans might have hacked him up, but clearly, and Kesh, you put out a tweet today from Bayern Munich who said that they scouted him and said that he needs too much space, and that's the reason they didn't go for him. And the German league, a lot of people would say, is far worse than the Premier League. And if they're saying that there's not even enough space in the Bundesliga, what makes us think that he's going to succeed in the Prem?
It's why Pepe looks good against Dundalk. It's why he looks good in the Europa League, because the competition he's in, he's up against teams that are at the level that he is at. And listen, there's no. This is where Arsenal and Man United, and all banter aside, I say we're at the same level, right? Think about how many players we've signed in the last 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it is. How many have legitimately been a success? And I'm not talking they're doing better than everybody else that you purchased at this time. How many have come in and have been at the Arsenal standard that we saw set for so many years? How many have been at the Man United standard that we've seen set? I look at Arsenal, I would put Aubameyang in that in the last few years as an example. Ozil for a short period of time. I think Tierney has got the ability to get there, because I've been quite impressed with him. And you guys are Arsenal fans. You'll know a few more than that than I do. I look at my club in that same time period. There's 1 or 2 players we've bought where you've gone, yeah, he's proper. You know, one of them is Bruno Fernandes. The rest just haven't lived up to. And it's bad recruitment. It's bad running. You know, as you say, that isn't for you as fans to know, by the way, either. You're not meant to know. And I know football fans try and pretend like they know football more than the coaches and the scouts do. But the cold light of day is a Bayern Munich scout will know more about football in the tip of his little finger than 99% of football fans do in their entire bodies. And it's just embarrassing. And I'm not even throwing salt here because my club keep doing the same thing, buying players who are completely inadequate for what we need. And I look at Pepe and the headbutt, look, don't overblow it. It was a bad moment. Top players have made mistakes like that in the past. But when you're struggling, when you're under pressure, when you're mouthing off in public saying, I want an opportunity, I'm frustrated, and you get that chance, he has gone and blown it. And it now means every game he plays, the pressure on him to be that top performer is massive because everybody's watching for his mistakes, watching for him to foul. And I just think the Premier League, he just doesn't have a big enough shovel to dig about this whole.
Say one thing before you go, Cash. But why kick a man when he's down? At this point, Terry, I feel like we need to build somebody up. Let's be honest, guys. Let's keep it real. You guys can give up on him if you want to give up on him, but as long as he's at the club, we as fans have a duty to support the guy. We can be critical, but when he's on the pitch, you don't want him to do bad.
Bro.
God,
we've been supporting this guy for over a year now. Yeah, a top player don't need over a year going into 2 seasons to settle. I hear his agent come out, was it this morning, saying, "Oh, he's still a player, still trying to adapt to the league." Bro, that is total bullshit for me. You either say how it is, and he can't. He doesn't cut it. He does not cut it, bro.
Can I ask you a question? Because I know you're honest. When it comes to him, there's two things I'm going to say. First, I'll make a statement and a question. First thing is, wanting him to fail and not criticizing him are not the same thing. Abusing him and being disgusting is one thing, but saying, I guarantee Arsenal fans want him to do well, but I just don't have faith in him. The second element is this: I'm all about giving players time. You got to see something in a big game, in a big moment. He scored a goal against Man United that I remember. Of course, it was against my team. I remember him dribbling past Van Dijk. That's it. There hasn't been, like sometimes the player, you get moments in every game. We go, oh, there's something there. I watched Pepe in the Premier League. There's nothing.
Let me be fair before you jump in, Kesh. I will admit, I saw Pepe do good things against Chelsea in the FA Cup final. I'll never forget, I had Arsenal fans coming to me saying, if I could get a performance like that from Pepe in cup finals and semi-finals, because I think, he kind of did this thing there too, I would take that with the dead performances he gives me for the rest of the season. Now, for me, I don't know how I feel about that even now, because it rubs me up the wrong way a little bit. But, Kesh, I can see you don't agree.
That makes me sick. Honestly, whoever said that, have a hard look at yourself in the mirror, bro. The season is a very long season, and you're not guaranteed to make it to a final. So what else is going to be doing if he doesn't make it to a final?
Chilling. Vibes.
This is the problem with Arsenal, and this is the problem with the players we've got. If you're playing for a big club, you need players who perform 4 games out of 5. And too many of our players will put in one good performance and then have 4 shocking performances. Nearly swore then.
I hear you, but let's not lie, guys. Pepe has something. He's got an ability. We know he can beat a man. We know that he can dribble. We've seen him dribble past Buddy Van Dijk, and no one did that for what? A year? Over a year? So you can't deny that he's got some quality. So what's the problem?
I can be honest here and say, as much as he has shown that he hasn't adjusted and he's given us problems, his outputs has not lived up to the 72 million price tag. That's where we have, as fans, been asking for. We've been asking for more. We wanted him to do what Jota's doing at Liverpool, scoring 4 goals in a bounce game after game. And that's what he hasn't done. I love the guy. I love all our players, but he has not shown us enough for us to stick our necks on the line 24/7. I'm coming out here backing him because he's deeply sorry for what he did, and I just don't want this to be the end of his career. Guys, he's going to be here for the rest of the season, at least. So we have to understand he should be able to provide us more than Reece Nelson and a Willian at least.
Don't you think that Pepe is too predictable though? Because whenever I see him play, I never see him go past the man and then whip a wicked ball into the box. He's always constantly cutting in on his left-hand side all the time. And I just think that teams have probably figured that out now. It's not.
He's predictable. You're right.
He reminds me of when you used to see you and your mates used to play in the school playground. It's just street football. Everyone's just giddy-headed, just running all over the pitch. No sense of ideas of what he's meant to be doing. He doesn't know his job out there. He's lost. He's freestyling. Half of the time he's cutting in because he's one-footed and he's trying to take a shot up. But 9 times out of 10, that's got to be a worldie to even go in.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Brandon, Kesh, both of you are saying that he's too predictable. You're right. I've never seen him beat a man on the outside. I've never seen him playing on the right flank, take on his man on the outside, whip a ball in with his right. He even put a cross in against Leeds and it hit the crossbar. And I hear Arteta saying, we hit the crossbar after the game. I'm thinking, did we? And it's only now that it's triggering. He meant the Pepe cross/shot. And it's poor. It's really, really poor. I have to say. But I don't know. The
whole team has been predictable though.
You're right. Yeah. You can't say that. You can't say that again. You can't do it. I'm sorry.
Listen, I saw more from a Saka in space of 15 minutes with a man down. For a 18-year-old, 19-year-old to be carrying the weight of shoulders of Arsenal on his shoulders and these senior pros, he's been in the game for how long, he's doing nothing. That to me, there's something drastically wrong going on.
I would say that Reece Nelson came on after he got the red card and looked way more threatening than
way more threatening.
There's a massive difference in it all, though. These youngsters, they play for this. They play for the badge. They die for the club because they've been there since they was very young.
The thing
is, the difference you see between Saka and Pepe. Pepe's a player.
I'll say the thing is that that's the dying breed in football, because the majority of footballers don't really care about the badge anymore. Most of them. And this is the problem with Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, we have too many players that don't pay for the badge and they care about themselves.
It's not a dying breed. It's not a dying breed, Daniel. It's how you recruit. Like, you've got to be evaluating these players before you bring them on board. Find out what their character's like. What's their inspiration? What they're trying to do in the game. And that's how you should recruit for me. You can't just bring a player. I don't believe you can be the best player in the world, the best technique, but if your mindset is not right and you ain't trying to go in the right direction that I want the club to go into, I don't want you at my club.
But hold on, let me
I'm seeing that. Same with Aubameyang though. I mean, we bought him, and everyone said he has attitude issues. You know, he's cancer in the dressing room, and that's proven to be wrong since he's come in. So sometimes it's not all about personality. There's a deeper layer in the fabric.
Let me just ask a quick question. You're an Arsenal scout, all of you, and you look at Pepe and you see him doing that every game. He's scoring his goals. He's doing what he needs to do. How are you supposed to find out about his attitude? Because as far as they could see, it was fine. He was celebrating goals. He was doing his thing. He's not making people. He's scoring penalties. He's taking on his man.
Yeah, but when I say attitude, I'm talking about your mentality, like, or you're a winner. You can do all of that, but you might not be a winner in it. Like, you can't be like, if you look back at Wenger's teams, if you're talking talent, a lot of these players, the players that he had with his life with Shamak, they didn't come close to these guys. But what Shamak actually had, he had a ambition. He was a terrible striker, but he had ambition. He did. He had more of a drive to get goals than Lacazette. Without a fact. That's a fact.
What? I have no idea where you're coming from. Are you saying he worked harder? Are you saying he worked harder?
Just look at his movement. Look at where he wants to be to get goals. You can't get goals with some of the things that these players are doing. You can't get goals. Like I said, you never see him make a burst of run after laying off a pass and get into the box. He doesn't do that.
That's because we don't get past the halfway line, mate.
No, but even before that, even on the Vanguard, you don't see Lacazette do that.
Okay.
There's no desire to do that.
Yes. Are you challenging the whole club's work ethic or just that one
player?
The
whole club, from owner to recruitment to players. The whole club, mate.
Okay. Stop. 1 second. The major difference between when Emery left and to Freddie Ljungberg to end of Arteta's reign, the biggest thing that we did was we created problems for the other people in their own box. We pressured them. We made them make mistakes. We haven't been doing that this season. We haven't been pressing from the front. We haven't been pressing as a team. We haven't been a unit when we're throughout the whole entire game. The only time you see us do that was against Manchester United. To me, that is a bigger problem than individual players not getting into the right position. The whole team's not playing cohesively.
That to me comes down to character, mate. That comes down to character. They decide when they want to turn up and when they want to turn down. That's it for me.
Damn. And Terry, as a rival fan, and I know you must be enjoying this a little bit. As much as you say that our team's in the same boat, I know that there's a little twinkle in your eye. I can see it, bro. I've seen it.
Always rivalry, isn't it?
But is there any part of you, if you try and put salt aside, that believes that Pepe can come good? Any part of you at all? Damn.
Not for what you want from a £72 million player. I think he won't even reach Nani's level. So you think Lewis Nani? He's not as good as Lewis Nani. And if I'm trying to think of like comparables.
No, I hear you.
You know what I mean? For £72 million, I want from him. Do you know what? Like Theo Walcott's a better football player.
Facts.
Theo better. So for me, that's
what are we saying now? What are we saying?
Facts.
What are we saying now?
Bro.
No,
I
but
mean,
Theo,
I'm not even trying to be salty. I legitimately mean that. For me, yeah, he is. Yeah, Theo Walcott was a better football player, and I legitimately don't think you were gonna get much more than you're currently seeing from him. And do you know what will happen if he stays? And you can clip it up. There'll be moments. There'll be little patches in seasons where he scored 3 games running. Terry, he scored a goal against United. He's thereabouts. For £72 million, you need someone who is scoring and creating 25 goals a season minimum at his age as well. Man's not 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
The thing. And on the point around scouting, I don't even know if it's an attitude thing. This is the thing about scouts and due diligence that football clubs need to do. There's things that they should be seeing. There are elements that they need to be seeing as a football club that Arsenal Football Club are clearly not that you're not doing as a football. There are things that you should be doing as a football club that you're not. Your scout should know how to look for those things that Bayern Munich have mentioned about him needing that level of space. We've said it about managers in the past. You need to do your due diligence and know how a manager behaves when he's under pressure, when he's in a good space, how he handles conflicts. All these little things that need to be tested. I don't think these clubs are doing their work.
Terry. The thing is, it's not scouts. Bayern's using scouts. Arsenal's not using scouts. And that's one of the reasons why Mislintat said, I'm off. He slinged his hook and said, I'm gone. Because he knows what they're doing can't work without actual itis. Like, you can use stats, but you've got to apply the itis with it as well. You can't just solely go off stats. What does that mean? I think it was Bastos at Sporting Lisbon. I think he scored off every single touch he takes in the box. And a lot of people was hyping up on Twitter, and I was like, hey, this player wouldn't even get close to a top team if you actually watch it.
Mate, it's what it comes down to at the end of the day, and I hear you on that. I didn't know Arsenal weren't using scouts. Again, I don't know enough about the club, but I'm not shocked to hear that. It's kind of obvious you're not doing things right, and it's just clear. Big teams with huge incomes, massive infrastructure in history, fail because they're run poorly. This stupid notion that we keep going through as fans, and I was on this boat. That's why I know it's stupid, because change happens. We get told about like projects and new infrastructure and this new scout, and we all keep getting lied to, and the same problems persist because the club isn't being run right. Every football club, every baseball club, every ice hockey team, every basketball team, every fighter, the ones that are successful have great teams around them, and the club and the franchise and the brand is run correctly. You cannot find me a consistently successful sports team or person who runs their house like shit. You won't find one. Tiger Woods, greatest golfer of all time. Whenever he's been in a point where he's got his house in order, played great golf. As soon as man started drinking, shagging about, couldn't win a golf tournament. It's the same in all these. It's across the board. You know what I mean? It's the same everywhere. And it drives me nuts that we have not woken up as fan bases of our football clubs to realize how your club is run is the problem. Arteta's got issues here. Pepe's got issues here, and whatever it may be. Unai Emery had issues, and Ozil had issues, and Wenger towards the end had issues, and certain players did. But it's the way your club's been run since 2004. You've been going backwards for nearly 20 years. To put that all on Unai Emery or on Pepe is legitimately, it's insanity. It's insanity.
But
I agree with you.
An excellent.
That's what happens, though.
That is what happens. That is what happens. There are 1,000 people watching. Please hit the like button. I promise you. I said if you did it last time, I'd play the song. And I know you lot did it, so here we are. We're gonna play this one. Here it comes. We're about to go on to talk about Arteta. A lot of you in the comments have been saying that we can't compare Arsenal's struggles to Liverpool's because FSG were giving you guys Klopp. Arteta was all we had at the moment. So yeah. But before we get to that, where's my song? Where's my stereo?
2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to make my wife. I need a girl who's mine, oh mine. I need a girl in my life. I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to be my wife. Nobody else, she's all mine. I need a girl. Yeah, yeah. Yo, I'm internationally known on the microphone.
When's it gonna get boring? That's what I want to know. When is it gonna get boring? Oh, Terry, he's disappeared.
Yeah.
Adam,
do me a favor, Adam.
You know what we need to discuss? What's the measurement? Because I get this all the time. Like they say, but your squad is better than Aston Villa's. Your squad's better than Leeds. But what is the measurement to actually say these players are better?
That's an excellent question. Who wants to address it?
Brian, what do you say? I mean, Brandon.
That is a very good question, to be fair. The thing that I'll say about, for example, you gave the example there, Leeds. I wouldn't say they've got players that are better ability-wise, but they just play better cohesively as a squad, as a team. And that's what the problem is at Arsenal. We don't play cohesively.
Okay. So you don't believe that?
I don't barring the money you spent on them, barring that they are Arsenal. I feel that's what people go by. But just because you spend the money, don't mean they're quality players. Like these players have been regressing for years. You can't tell me a Kevin Phillips can't come in and be better than what Granit Xhaka is giving us, along with numerous of the other players.
Yeah,
we're just saying that because they play for Arsenal.
Adam, Adam, do me a favor. Don't zoom in on me for this one because I want to ask everybody here what you guys are thinking. Don't zoom in on me. What I want to know is from all you guys. Do you guys genuinely think this can get worse, or do you think this can get better with us going into the January window? Do you see things getting worse, or do you see things getting better? Because last year, us finishing 8th, I genuinely thought that was rock bottom, and I could only see things getting better based on how we finished the season. But do you guys see things getting worse? I'll start with you.
I think it depends, really. If you don't strengthen in January, then it'll get really ugly at the end of the season. But it depends. There's some reports that Kroenke might invest and have permitted the sale of Szoboszlai. If we improve in January, then yes, things will get better. But as of right now, knowing Arsenal in January, we don't spend, so I think things could get worse.
Listen, the way I see it, the next 2 games, I don't think they'll sack him. I generally don't.
It can't.
But it's going to be very toxic these next 2 games if we don't win at least one of them.
But what I don't understand is, why is it toxic, guys? In the summer, everybody was ranting and raving about Arteta. He won us the FA Cup. He said he's getting a tune out of these players that are dead and buried. Pepe played well, like I said. Granit Xhaka seemed to be reborn. Even Mustafi, this stupid ogre, was playing well.
The reason why it will be toxic, because it's a cycle that us as Arsenal fans are very weak, very weak. This has been a cycle for how many years? Whether you don't like the manager or not, these owners are the one that's hired them. Yeah, these owners are the ones that watch the recruitment team spend their money unwisely, keep making mistakes. So where does it end? We sack another manager, the same thing's gonna happen because the recruitment team, and that comes from up above. The only way that can stop happening and also stop making these mistakes is for the Kroenke to actually get serious and actually have a good interest in the club, because they're not interested in the club. It's just a money bank for them, honestly.
So we're not laying any blame at Arteta's feet for yesterday. Is that
no? He has got blame. Of course he has.
But there's a thing, criticizing the manager and wanting the manager out. What we're doing is criticizing the manager, and this is the thing Arsenal fans need to realize, that we're attacking Arteta. We want to keep his job, but really has to fix these little things up because it's getting really annoying.
What things are really fix?
This right now, I'm going to get on to why I'm Arteta out. Right? Okay, he's not had long to fix these issues, but he's had the 2-week international break to fix certain issues that we have in the team. And when the team lineup came out yesterday, and the formation, even I looked at it and went, "Oh, hang on, he's doing something different here. Maybe we're going to take the game to Leeds a little bit."
Yeah.
But then within the first 5 minutes of the game, I saw the same old rubbish that I've been seeing. You can't have, let's be real, right? Aubameyang, I'm not saying he's the best striker in the world. He's one of the best goal-scoring strikers in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't get this geezer into the game, you know? And one of our main strengths at Arsenal, and it always has been, is that we can score goals. We've never been able to defend, so I don't understand why. I can see why he's sort of building a little bit of a base, because the defensive unit was horrendous before he came in. But you're almost relying on this team who have had one defender come in, who's not going to change the whole complexion of the defence at all, in Gabriel. You're relying on the same players to defend for 90 minutes in the hope that you get that one chance. And it's just not working. I mean, I look at it like this, right? But people say he's improved us defensively. Okay, we concede less goals, but it means absolutely nothing if we don't go up the other end and score and we're not getting the results. Because you can draw every single game throughout the entire season. Let's say we don't concede any goals throughout the entire season, but we don't score any goals. That means out of 38 games, we got 38 points. You know? And then I look at it like this as well, right? West Ham. And this is a tweet that was put out by Lee Gunner, by the way. Shout out to Lee Gunner. I don't agree with everything that he says about Arteta, and I don't agree with the fact that he didn't really give the bloke a fair chance before he was even in the job. But anyway, there you go. That's a different matter.
Have you given him a fair chance before he's in the job? Have you done that?
This is what I'm going to come to now, right? West Ham. This is West Ham's run of fixtures this season. Yeah. They played us away. They played Wolves at home. They've played Leicester away, and they played City at home and Liverpool away. Yeah?
Yeah.
They currently sit above us in the league table with a better goal difference.
Right.
And they've supposedly got a worse manager and worse players than us.
Right.
That's, you know.
It's
okay,
not on.
so
it's not on for you. Okay.
Can I say something?
Of course you can.
Bro, let me ask you a question. With all due respect, if the players are this bad as people say they are, and the team is this disjointed and this disconnected from what's really happening, and they don't show effort and they don't show this, and everyone's saying all these things that are going on that are so bad, it's a laundry list of things that everyone's saying consistently that is going wrong at Arsenal. What makes you think if we change the manager tomorrow, everything's going to fix like Thanos snapping his fingers?
Because look, I don't, it's a tough one as an Arsenal fan because I don't trust this board at all. Even if we sacked Arteta, like I think he should be, I don't trust that they'll get a proper manager in.
They won't.
But you as a manager, Arteta comes out, like I said yesterday, he comes out with, oh, I'm going to do this. Non-negotiables. But yet Willian still started yesterday.
Well, the thing is, you got to look at it, yeah. For the same year in, year out, the board have promised us the same thing with 3 different managers, yeah. Wenger, Emery, and Arteta. Same promises, broken promises, yeah. And what we do as fans, we turn to the board. Not to the board. We look at the manager every single time. It's on the manager's neck. Oh, we don't buy this player. Oh, well, it's on the manager, being the manager. This is what the board want us to do. They don't want us to look at them. They want us to look at Arteta and say, Arteta needs to go. Really putting pressure on the board.
Don't trust the board. 1 second. I agree with you, Samuel. Brendan, if you don't trust the board, what makes you think sacking Arteta is going to fix the problem? Bringing in, if we brought in Benitez tomorrow, if we brought in Allegri, if we brought in any of these guys who've been proven managers, it doesn't mean our fortunes is going to change like that. We might pick up form a little bit, but in the long run,
you're right. You're 100%. You're 100% right. But I do believe there are managers out there that can get better performances
They
out
don't
of
want
these
this job.
Do you want
They do
performances?
not want this job. Listen,
No, but you got to look. What manager would walk into it?
they don't want this job. They had a chance before Arteta was even in question. Yeah, Allegri, he told them, what did he say? He said something about, why do you think I should manage you? Like, what are you going to bring to me? And they took it as him being arrogant. Well, that's a manager who's been around the block. He's won things. Enrique said the same thing to him. He asked for promises. Did he want to give it to him? And they said, no, I don't want it. Why are they going to come and take this job? Listen, Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expected to get a different result.
But the thing is, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It makes no sense. I'm absolutely listening to you guys. You guys are saying the same thing as me, I feel like. We're all saying we don't trust the board to pick a next manager. The managers we want are not going to pick us in the first place. Why not? If you know, all of us here know we're in a rebuild. Why not trust one man to do it in his image, and then at the end of it, when everything has come to fruition, we can actually be happy because we actually backed the guy. Look at Liverpool. The reason why I compare us to Liverpool is not because they went on to win things, is because they backed the manager in a time when he was still not doing well.
However, are you talking about Klopp?
Yeah.
Okay, but the difference with Klopp, Igal.
Forget about managerial experience. I'm just talking about the scenario.
But you can't compare the scenario without applying context, because Klopp had won stuff at Borussia Dortmund. Klopp had got his team, underdogs, quite frankly, to a Champions League final. And I've heard people say that they still should have actually won that game to this day. So it's not quite comparable. However,
Adam, you know why it's
God, I'll come to you in a second, but there are things that you're saying that do make sense, and namely, to me, it doesn't make sense for us to be clamoring for Arteta out when the managers we want to come don't want to come to Arsenal, and there's a real lack of other good alternatives. So we're just going to get rid of one guy who has no experience, bring in another guy who has no experience, and be jumping from manager to manager. We're not Manchester United. That's what they do. And the thing is, they can afford to do it because they got the money to back him time and time again. We don't. Or at least we don't have the managers that are willing to spend like theirs are. So I can't see how getting Arteta out right now is the best option.
You know what it is as well, yeah? Because if, for instance, Klopp had come into Arsenal, they would have done him dirty. They would have done him dirty just like they've done every other manager. Emery was an experienced manager. Fair enough, he never won a big title like no Champions League or anything that you really look at and think, well done. But he had experience. He gave them his list of target, and they went beyond that list of target and got whoever they thought they wanted to get. Why? Because they want a penny pinch. Like, we look at these things and say Arsenal spend. Yes, we spend. But most of the time where Arsenal stray away from other targets, like, for instance, Kante, because they don't want to pay agent fees and things like that. So it's always trying to penny pinch. No matter what the fee is that they pay for the transfer, they know that when it comes to the wages and signing on fee, they can cut corners. That's why they went and got Xhaka. So don't keep telling me, oh, you spend. Or you spending within reasons. Or you spending for quality. Or you just spending that because you know you can save yourself 10 to 15 mil without paying a transfer fee. I mean, not transfer fee, signing on bonus.
We've made our first signing of the window already, just to let you guys know. Our first signing of the window is this kid from Germany, an 18-year-old defender. It looks like they're trying to invest. They're trying to invest in the future. They're not worried. They don't think Arsenal right now, we don't think we're going to win the league this year. We don't think we're going to win the league next year. What they're trying to do is they're trying to line themselves up for 3 years.
Play the youngsters then. Play the youngsters then. If that's
you have to. I agree with you.
To play the youngsters. If that's what you're doing, play the youngsters. Lower the expectation because the squad ain't good enough for the expectation that we as some fans believe that we should be reaching. So lower the expectations, play the youngsters, head them in, and grow from there. Simple.
Yeah, one thing I see is that if the squad's not good enough, what do you want Mikel Arteta to do? Because this squad is rubbish. And listen, you put a manager, you throw him into a snake pit. This is what Mikel Arteta is in. It's not an ideal situation here. Most of these players aren't even his players. Granted, Xhaka is an Arsenal Wenger player, yeah? You look at Lacazette was an Arsenal Wenger signing. You look at David Luiz, he's at Unai Emery signing. So Mikel Arteta has to work with the tools he's been given. He hasn't really been properly backed. Like your Frank Lampard, he got £200 million in the window. If you look at your Jurgen Klopp throughout the years, getting Alisson, Van Dijk, and if you look at even Mourinho at Tottenham, him and Daniel Levy worked well together to get all his number one targets.
From what I understand,
why do we blame the manager? It's free.
Wait, hold on. From what I understand is, from the Arteta Out brigade is they want to play good football. That's basically what they want.
Yeah.
But that good football, there's only so far.
Is that what it is, then?
With that good football, there's only so far you're gonna get with these players anyway. So you still need to back the manager. So therefore, you end up back at the same position.
Yeah, one thing I'll add on that as well. We've been playing good football with Wenger, and what happened? We played every game, attacked the opponent, and we lost. We got battered. And then the fans started moaning about that.
Entitled fans wanted him out, and now they're complaining.
No.
It's a lose-lose situation.
Brandon, what would you do? What would it take for Arteta to turn your head again? Because I want to know.
I think beating Tottenham would it sway you more if you beat Tottenham?
Of course not.
Not that result.
Well,
man.
realistically, right, for Arteta to sway me back the other way again, he's got to get us in the top 4. Yeah. That's the target. That's what he's got to do, and I don't believe he can do it. I don't believe he can do it because I don't believe he's a good enough manager.
But if you put in even a good manager in this job, I don't think they'll get top 4 as well. Because this squad is so behind every single other team. Listen, we're the 8th best team in the country last season. There's 7 teams that are better than us. So even if you put a decent, good manager in there, I still believe he would struggle to make it into the top 4.
So let me ask you on the back of that, Brandon. Let me just ask you one quick question as we come to a close. If Allegri or Simeone or Luis Enrique came in and they finished outside of the top 4, what would your logic or your thinking process be then? What would happen? What would you do?
Look, right, I get you got to give a manager a time, right? And a lot of you are probably thinking that I haven't given Arteta enough time, but I don't like what I'm seeing. I said it yesterday, right? I don't mind playing this sort of style of football where we sit and let teams attack us and then hit them on the counter if we're playing against a top side away from home. But when we're seeing it against Leeds United, Aston Villa, teams that we should be going to and taking the game to them, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And you can't tell me that another manager couldn't get a better tune out of certain players in the squad. Like, for example, Aubameyang has gone missing since he signed that contract. And a lot of that has got to do with Mikel Arteta's system because we cannot get this guy into the game.
I go right back to what I just said. You can get a better tune out of them with probably a better manager, but where's that getting us? Where's the end goal? Where's the goal? But where are we trying to reach?
That was from the fact that, as Brandon said, Arsenal have always been known for attacking football. We've leaked goals. Arteta's now showed up here, and now we can't score goals. So even if we don't think about where it gets us, even in the short term, he needs to address that.
He does need to address that.
Listen.
But that's what I'm trying to say. We're still not addressing the bigger issue. Even if he addresses that, I still don't see this team going on to achieve anything because it's going to be the same thing like what they've done to Wenger, the same thing like what they did to Emery. So we're still going to be in the same position. We're still going to be losers, shall I say. Losers.
Guys, stop. Listen, there's a reason why he wanted Houssam Aouar. There's a reason why we're looking at Dominic Szoboszlai. There's a reason why we're looking at the same type of player. We're looking for a midfielder, a creative midfielder that can play on that left-hand side in the likes of a Jack Grealish. Obviously, we all would love to have Jack Grealish, but I genuinely believe if we're able to get in this January window, if we're able to get a quality midfielder that can impact our performances immediately with the run that we have at the end of the season, with this crazy of a season, let's be honest, top 4 or winning the Europa League is still on. We can still get it, even though at this moment it looks far out of the way. It looks so far away, but you never know where we're going to be at the end of the season. You never know where we're going to be in that time. If a lot of people keep dropping points and the season is as crazy as it is, we at the end of the season, if we somehow win the Europa League or get top 4, we'll be back here saying, you know what? He surprised us all.
Yeah, one thing I gotta say.
I'm looking at the present. Like, that's too far away. We haven't gone past Christmas yet. We still got Christmas to see, man. Come on.
I have to agree. I think the whole thing that the league is crazy. It died with me yesterday. We had a real judge of Leicester's title credentials versus Liverpool, who had so many injuries and they got made to look average. So I don't think the league is that crazy anymore. Fans are going to come back to the stadiums in December, and I think we're going to see the cream rise to the top, which is why we've seen Chelsea get to where they are. So yeah, last word from everybody. Sam, tell us where we can find you, and let us know what you think about Arsenal.
So what I think about Arsenal is we have to stand behind Mikel Arteta. I know fans will disagree, but listen, it's a long process, and we've seen the same result with previous managers. Wenger played good football, but Emery sometimes played good football, and you know what the fans wanted? They wanted him out. But listen, we have to stand behind Arteta and back him. You can find me, Samuel4002 EFC on Twitter, and you can go sub to EGTV Egal. Like and sub, guys.
Love that. Egal, what do you think about Arsenal, and where can we find you?
The season already began, and people are just causing me headaches all day, man. Honestly, what I'll say is Arsenal, they're good. It's an up and down season, ladies and gentlemen. We have to back our team and back our manager. You can be critical all you want. You can criticize the performances and be upset with the performances. But when the game begins for that 90 minutes, let's just back our boys and let's see where we can get us. You can find me on EGTV. That's my YouTube channel, and the Kid EG on Twitter. Don't know, people.
Okay, Brandon, what about yourself, sir?
Yeah, you can find me on Brandon AFC Fan TV YouTube channel. I kind of agree with what some of the points the lads have made, but at the same time, I still don't believe that Mikel Arteta is good enough for Arsenal. I don't think anybody's going to sway me now that I've made my choice. And like I said earlier, it's no good being defensively better if you're not scoring goals and getting results.
Fair. What a sad state of affairs we find ourselves in. And Kesh, what about you, mate?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter on Kesh AFC04. But yeah, one thing I will say though, like, I agree with what Brandon just said. Like, obviously, no manager that's not got experience is good enough to come at Arsenal and do anything immediately. I knew that before he was hired. So I accepted that we're going to have to give him time. He's going to be learning in the process. Because I know nothing's going to change. I'd rather a manager try and grow. And hopefully it does get to fruition where he brings us some sort of happiness. But to think that we're going to get a top-class manager and everything's just going to go from here to up there, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, man.
I hear it. My name's Adam Charles. You can find me the Fifth Official on YouTube and at TFO Show. And I'm not going to lie, I've been trying to play devil's advocate. I don't really know what I think. I don't know whether I think Arteta should be out. I don't know whether I think he should be in. All I know is he's got a very difficult job on his hands, and I think he could be doing better than he is, but I don't think I or any other manager would be able to do any better than he's currently doing. So all I can say is watch this space, and let's hope that we get into the Champions League, maybe?
God willing.
I don't know. There's one thing that's certain, and that's that I need a gal. But thank you very much for watching, guys. See you later.